Hey everybody, this is Mike with the One Stop Co-op Shop, and I'm really excited to show you this one. This is Valor and Villainy Lludwik's Labyrinth, which was on Kickstarter, and you can still late pledge. I'll have the link in the video description. So this is a 1 to 6 player cooperative game, sort of a dungeon crawler, and it kind of has a campaign in that you unlock stuff and it has an ongoing narrative, but you can play each of the missions one-off. And with a new small expansion that was in the Kickstarter, you can combine it with the previous game, which is available in retail, Minions of Mordak, and you can play it one versus many or cooperative for both modes. But again, I'm just showing the basic cooperative play here. We previously featured this game and Scenario 3, which is the first boss fight scenario on the streaming channel. So in this one, I'm doing Scenario 4, which is another fully featured scenario. The first two are kind of more like tutorials. I'll do a full playthrough, and warning, there will be spoilers for Scenario 4, but you can jump to the end whenever you like to hear my impressions of what I've played of the game so far. And a quick reminder for our crowdfunding coverage, we never take compensation for this, so I'm going to give you my honest opinions and just hopefully help you make an informed decision. So the basic idea of the Valor Villainy play, you're playing on this 5x5 grid, and you always start with these locations in play. We've got a monster up here that we can fight, and we're going to have our 1 to 6 characters here, and each of the heroes will get to take a turn first. They'll take a number of actions, which include moving, scouting new locations, picking up treasure, attacking enemies in several different ways, casting spells. And in standard scenarios, your overall goal is to defeat the boss. In this scenario, we're fighting against the Keeper. If we can get him spawned onto the board and then defeat him, we win, taking his health all the way down to 0. But once he spawns on the board, if he defeats us 3 times, then we lose. And to focus on the boss more, after all of the heroes have taken a turn, then the boss takes a turn, and if he's not spawned yet, he basically just casts some spells and summons some minions. If he is spawned, he actually chases us around with this AI deck and tries to kill us himself, generally. Now, to zoom in on our characters a bit more, they have an action trait over here on the right. You'll see this little marker, shows how many you've got. So right now, Sir Thaddy Croaks has 3 actions. They've got their hit point value on the left, which will count down. If the boss defeats a hero, they always respawn on the next turn, so generally you don't lose any time. But if they defeat the hero before the boss has spawned onto the board, then the boss levels up more and becomes tougher later on. And again, if they defeat 3 heroes once the boss is on the board, we lose. And each hero has 3 action rows. Generally, it's going to be melee with the axe, range with the arrow, and spell casting with the wand. And as you progress further into the campaign, you'll unlock different upgrades for your base camp, which include free level ups. So actually, Sir Thaddy Croaks only starts with 2 red dice on his range attack, but I've gotten some free level ups from other things I've done, so that's why I'm getting more dice, because these are little upgradable things. You have white dice, which are the weakest, yellow are in the middle, and red are the strongest. And when you level up throughout a scenario, you can both increase your actions for 3 experience points, and you can upgrade your dice for 1 experience point per tick up. That would mean adding a white die, or upgrading a white to a yellow, or upgrading a yellow to a red. You'll see that more once we level up. We also have these +1 tokens. Each character starts with them on their starred action row or rows. So for Sir Thaddy, he prefers range attacks, so he's got a +1 right here. And you can gain more of those whenever you make an action roll. We'll see in a moment. Also, each character has 2 special abilities and then a dojo ability they can unlock if they find the correct room in the dungeon. In Sir Thaddy's case, he's riding a noble steed, looks like a snail, which means he has 3 actions to start. Most characters only have 2, and he has evasion. And also, when he finds treasure, he can equip it immediately. You'll see what that means soon. And my other character is William, the warlock, so he's obviously more focused on spellcasting with a little bit of magic. And each character can hold up to 3 items. Again, an upgrade I got from a previous scenario let me keep an item. So in this case, I've got a Wand of Firebolts, which is going to boost William's magic and ranged attacks by 1 yellow die. And again, on a hero's turn, they get to take as many actions as their current action marker indicates, which would be 3. The first and most basic action is to move, which lets a character move up to 3 tiles, and they can only move where there are hallways. They can't walk through walls. Now you'll notice at the moment there's no way for me to move up to 3. There's not really anywhere to go, but you have a free action called Scouting whenever you're next to 1 or more open hallways. That lets you place new tiles down. We'll see how that works when we get to it. But the basic idea is you can do that in the middle of movement. Usually you can't interrupt your movement, but because it's a free action, it doesn't actually cost you an action, you can do it. And sometimes you'll get an event icon on the tile, which looks like an exclamation point. That means you have to stop moving, so you lose your remaining movement points. But if you don't get that, you can continue spending your movement and going into the new tiles you reveal. Those new tiles will also sometimes spawn monsters, spawn loot for you to loot. A lot of loot going on. And speaking of loot, that's another free action. Anytime you're on a tile with no enemies, you can grab any loot cards that are there. You can also, for your actions, use one of your action rows. So I can do a melee attack for one action, I can do a range attack for one action, I can cast spells, although it wouldn't work too well for Sir Thaddy with him having 0 dice. It costs 1 action to use one of those, and you can only use each of them once per round. So Sir Thaddy can only make 1 ranged attack in a given round, for example. He couldn't just keep on attacking with his best dice. And action rolls work pretty basically. You roll the indicated number and color of dice, and you add up the totals. That was not a great roll. This is 4. And most of these actions are used to defeat enemies. Here's an example. The starting enemy north of us, the Muscle Boy's Meathead. He's got a heart value in the upper right that says 6. That's how much it costs to kill him straight out. And then he's got a lower value called 3, which allows you to flip him over to a weaker side, and then you only need 3 to kill him. So sometimes you can kill them in 1 attack, sometimes you have to hit them twice. They also have some other information in the upper left. The 1 value coin is how much bounty, basically how much experience you get for defeating him. On the bottom, you have his attacks. He has a melee attack with 2 yellow and 1 white. His number of actions, the lightning bolt in the bottom left, that's 2. Most characters have an ability. He's got Doom, which basically means he'll double damage against a character potentially. And finally, in the bottom right is his sort of rank of enemy. He's a chump minion, which has the Roman numeral 1, going all the way up to Roman numeral 3, the toughest enemies. So in this case, with me having rolled 4 for the range attack, I could choose to deal 3 damage to him to flip him to his injured side. Now, each of the actions works slightly differently. For range, you have to attack an adjacent tile. You can't attack your own. For melee, as you might imagine, you have to be in the same tile as the enemy. And the final action, magic, is a little bit different. So characters will have hands of cards, and some of them are spells like this one. This is actually William's starting spell. That's why his picture's on the left. And at the top in the upper right, they have a variety of numbers, 2/3/4, and I can spend that many successes to cast varying levels of power of this Beating Heart spell. If you look at the text at the bottom, it says choose someone on the map, and you can either attack or heal them for 3, 4, 6 hearts. That corresponds to the 2, 3, 4 at the top. So if I spend more successes, I can cast a stronger version of the spell. And if I roll enough successes, I can cast as many spells as I like, as many as I have in my hand, by dividing the successes among them. So you can get a bunch of attacks or effects from a single spellcasting check. Now, the other type of card, which is mainly what Thaddy will have, are potions. These can be used on other players' turns or your own turn, depends on what the card says. They often offer luck mitigation, boosting rolls, healing, other effects. And the upper right spot on a card indicates any additional cost. For most of them, it's 0, but some of them will require you to discard a different card from your hand or spend one of your +1 tokens. And speaking of +1 tokens, you can spend them after any roll to add to it. So I could change my 4 range attack into a 5 by discarding this one. And how you get more of them is by spending extra successes. For every 2 successes I spend, I get 1 +1 token. I could even choose to change my mind and not attack the guy to my north, and instead spend these 4 successes, 2 for 1 +1 token, to get 2 +1 tokens. They would have to go on range because that's the action I was taking, and you can have up to 4 of them on a player's board in total. And we have one final action option, another one that you can only take once per round, and that is called a Power Surge. It lets you draw 2 cards of whichever types you like, green and red spells, and then these are melee and ranged feats. These never have spells in them, whereas these have a mix of spells and potions. And just a few more quick things, and then we'll be ready to play. And if any of this seems intimidating, the actual game has a nice tutorial where you play through the first 3 scenarios and slowly learn these rules. So if it feels overwhelming, trust me, the game makes it easier for you. First of all, you'll see some things are seated on empty spots of the board. If you can get a tile of the map to connect there, then you can go and collect them. The coins are free level ups, free experience, and the little toothy looking things are sun shards. If you collect them, you generally gain a bonus whenever the boss comes out. Something else I didn't mention is that at the end of all the heroes' turns before the boss acts, you total all the bounty that's been collected, generally from defeating enemies, giving away treasure you don't want, and picking up bounty coins, and it'll give every hero some stars to level up with. So no matter who kills somebody, no matter who gets loot, everybody gets to benefit from it and level up. And finally, how do we get the boss to come out? Like I mentioned, when you explore and scout into some tiles, you're going to see an exclamation point. That'll cause you to draw the next card of the event deck. This is unique to the scenario, which will often give you a choice, often have enemies spawn, will often unlock new equipment from the deck, because this sort of has a minor legacy-ish aspect where you're unlocking new cards. And once we've gone through all 4 of the event cards, that'll spawn the boss. We can also spawn the boss if we've scouted and closed off every open hallway, like if you somehow get a ton of dead ends, which I've never seen happen, but I guess it's possible. And finally, after every boss turn, this little day token is going to go down 1, and we're going to read some narrative text and resolve some effects based on the scenario. If it gets down to day 4, the boss will also spawn, although that tends to mean they will be in their strongest, nastiest form. So usually you want to try to get them to spawn from your own actions first if you can. All right, so those are the main details of gameplay. We'll get into a few more details as we go, especially how the boss's turn works. But let's jump right in. So Sir Thaddy Croach has the initiative token right here, and he can either choose to hold, meaning he'll go last in the turn, or charge, meaning he'll go first. And I think he's going to go first. And let's look at him again. He's got 3 actions, a weak melee attack, a really strong range attack. He can evade, which means he can move out of monster spaces. Usually you are stuck if you go into a space with a monster. And whenever he loots, he gets to look at the treasure and potentially equip it right away. And note that unlike most characters, he can equip any item in any of his slots. Usually people have a weapon slot here, an armor slot here, and an accessory slot here, but Thaddy can freely mix and match all of them. And looking at his cards, he has loot drop. If he defeats someone, he can place a loot card in their region. Pretty nice. Golem's Throw, he can play as a nearby enemy is defeated. That means one who's adjacent or on his space, and he deals their heart value as damage to any other character in view, which means basically in line of sight in a straight direction. So he can basically throw their dead body at somebody. And finally, he's got Hail of Arrows. Usually when you make an attack, you can only apply it to one character, but this lets him spread a range attack among a bunch of people, which might be useful for a lot of enemies spawn later. So I think first he's going to make a range attack at that guy who's north of us. That guy has 6 to kill him straight up. So let's see how we do. Okay, that was 5. And with his +1 token, which he's going to spend, that'll make it 6. And that kills the Muscle Boy's meathead straight up, so he is dead. And I move him over here to our loot stash. At the end of both of our turns, we're going to level up each of us for at least 1 experience now that he is gone. Now Thaddy's going to go ahead and play Loot Drop, which again lets him place an item where he defeated somebody. And it goes right here, so if he or William moves in there, they can pick it up as a free action, and I think that's what he'll do for his second action. So he's got 3 movement if he moves. That's 1, he'll take a free action to loot. Usually it would just go to our bounty area until the end of our turn when we level up, but he gets to look at it immediately with his ability. And it is a Nautical Helm. You gain Evade, which he already has, and during your turn you treat portal and lake regions as adjacent. Lakes are only in the previous game, Minions of Mordak, whereas portals are in this one. They are these little purple spots here. So that's a pretty cool ability, although the fact that it gives him evade is pretty useless. So he will go ahead and equip it, but then he'll probably give it to William at the end of the turn because you can pass loot around. And for most characters, again, the color of the item here, it's a green accessory, would limit it to only one of their item slots, but for Thaddy, he can equip it anywhere. Okay, Thaddy's still got 2 movement left from his second action, the move action, but let's go ahead and scout. So when you scout, you have to reveal tiles next to every empty adjacent tile, so he couldn't like just look right and not look north. And you have this big stack of 22 tiles, and you take the bottommost one. In this case, it's a dead end with an event. And when you're scouting multiple places, you can place it in any spot it would fit. So I'm actually going to put it north here, since to the right lets me potentially access 2 of these bonus spots. So there we go, we've got a dead end. And this exclamation point on the bottom left is something I mentioned. That means I'm getting an event card, which again, if I get 4 of them, is going to spawn the boss. So this is both a good and a bad thing because we're closer to spawning the boss, although we haven't leveled up very much yet. But it also means that I lose the rest of my movement. Because again, anytime you scout and you get an exclamation point, you have to stop moving. So the other 2 movement points are wasted, but we're still going to scout to the right. Oh, and wow, this is both weird and kind of cool. This is the Jailer's Dojo. It says, during their turn, a hero in this region may train their unique ability for free. So each of the heroes has an ability in the corner of their character sheet. We'll see ours in a second because I'm probably going to go here. And just by moving in here at any point during their turn, they can upgrade that for the entire scenario. Now, this one is also a dead end. That part's not great, but it does have another exclamation point, which is kind of good because we've gotten more of them out of the deck. You only ever resolve 1 event, no matter how many exclamation points come out on a single scout. So even though I got 2 from this 1 scout attempt, I'm only going to look at 1 event card. And that happens right now, even though Thaddy has 1 action left. This kind of interrupts his turn. And by the way, there is a lot of fun and humorous narrative in the game, but I skipped all that for the beginning of this scenario to kind of keep the spoilers a little bit less. But I will go ahead and read this stuff. So, the Noble Queen. Retracing your steps through a familiar door, you stop just in the nick of time. An explosion of winds nearly swallow you into an eternity of blackness. You close the door, heart thumping. Okay, if the scouter is not holding any spells, I'm not. I only have the potions. They become doomed. And this is a new effect that is in Scenario 4, so they kind of explain things as they get introduced. This says when you're doomed, you flip your health marker to its purple side, and the next time you would take damage after all other prevention occurs, so I can like use cards or shields to try to protect myself, I double the damage and I remove doom. So doom is horrific if you get hit by like a really powerful monster. But if you are healed for any amount or killed, then doom goes away. All right, so that's not great. And then at the bottom of the card, they have some things that are going to spawn in the room where the event happened, which is 1 loot, that's good, and 2 chump minions, that 1 Roman numeral, that's bad. If we had 4 or more players, we would get a second loot and a level 2 minion. That's what the little icons on the right mean. And at the bottom it says flip to B and put in the stash. In the physical game, these events will be a series of cards in a sleeve, and basically you move new cards to the front. So card B will now be at the front, but we're not going to see what it is yet. It'll be in the stash, and during the level up stage, something else will happen. Often we'll get like a choice to make or unlock some new card. But yeah, we're going to spawn 1 loot, 2 chump minions, and Doom Thaddy. So here's the Doom just to show you. Now I'm purple. Uh-oh. And all the stuff goes on the first event token I reveal, which is this dead end. So we've got a loot there. And then from the bottom of the deck, we're going to deal 2 chump minions. So we've got a gnome Chunkatunk who has evade and a powerful range attack. Evade just means, again, that you can move out of spaces with enemies because enemies also have that restriction. And underneath, because they go in a stack and you have to attack the topmost enemy, we have a Golem Workhorse. Golems are annoying because they have the stone skin ability. If you look in the upper right, he's got an infinity symbol for his health and then a 2 to flip. So basically with them, you can't kill them on the first attack because of that infinity. You have to deal 2 damage first to flip them and then attack them again. So they really force you to use a lot of actions. So that is pretty nasty. Thaddy's got 1 action left. He can't do another range attack because he already did one this round, and he doesn't have enough actions to both move in and attack for melee. So he could either move again or he could power surge to draw 2 cards. But I like that Jailer's Dojo, so I'm going to move 1, 2, and again, that'll trigger me upgrading from the dojo. And I could move 1 more to go down to the base camp, but I've got this Golem's throw ability that can trigger when a nearby enemy is killed. So I'm thinking this might help William to defeat both of those guys. Maybe he can defeat one and then I can throw the other one in. So I'll stay here just to be available to help. And by the way, let's look at Thaddy's dojo ability. It says all your action rolls, that's melee, range, and magic, add +1 white die for each treasure you have. Okay, so maybe he's not going to give the nautical helm to the other guy. We want to get all the loot we can and just level up Thaddy for free like a ton. That's awesome. All right, so that is Thaddy. Let's switch to William's turn, then we'll level up, and then we'll get to the boss. So William also has 3 actions because I leveled him up there. And he's got a decent range attack and a really good magic attack. Although both of those are being boosted by his Wand of Firebolt, which is going to give him an extra yellow for each. His abilities are Master of Mortality. He gets to draw 2 red mortality spells at the start of the game and during each level up. So he's actually got 5 cards right now because one of the upgrades from a previous scenario also gave me a free Power Surge, free drawing of 2 cards at the start of the game. And then he's got Resourceful Vulture. Each time you defeat anyone, you may heal any hero for +1 health. And even though Thaddy's not hurt, I think I could still say I'm healing him to get rid of the doomed condition. So that's going to be great to potentially manage the doom, which is frequent in the scenario, having all those little heals. And when he goes to the dojo, which is certainly going to happen soon, it says when a source causes you to pay hearts, pay 1 less. And that's pretty important for him because look at the red spells like this Revitalizing Rain. Almost all of them cost 1 heart to cast in the upper right. So that's basically going to save him from taking a bunch of damage by getting that dojo ability. And looking at his spells, he's got Beating Heart, which lets him heal or hurt somebody. He's got Revitalizing Rains, which lets him roll a die to potentially heal every minion and hero on the board. Hopefully we would only do that when we're hurt and they're not. He's got a second copy of Beating Heart. All right. And then 2 green spells I drew using the Power Surge. They're both the same spell. I can create a 1, 2, or 3 heart elemental sidekick. This is a little minion that will have a turn after mine, get to move around, and can generally do actually a lot of damage. So I might want to do that. All right, so for his first action, he'll go 1, 2, stop in the Jailer's Dojo, 3, and hang out with Thaddy, which again is going to give him this nice ability. So even if he casts red spells this turn, he won't hurt himself. And speaking of spells, even with my Wand's bonus, I don't think he's strong enough to kill the guy to the north, so I think I'm going to go for spell casting. And I don't have to decide which spells I'm casting yet. I just roll all of his dice, see how many successes I have, and then I can divide them up as I choose. So here I've got 3 reds plus the yellow from my wand. Ooh, that was good. So by the way, reds have 50% 1s and 50% 2s, so they always roll something. Yellows have a single blank space and a single 2 space, but they tend to roll 1s. This was bad luck, but this was good luck. And whites have 50% blank and 50% 1s. So whites kind of average out to half a success, yellows to 1 success, and reds to 1.5. But okay, I've got 6 here. How do I want to spend these? So Beating Heart can do 3, 4, or 6 damage. And this gnome has 5, so I need to spend 4 of my successes to kill him straight up. Now, I could also spend those 4 successes to summon an elemental, but I don't think he'd be able to punch the guy by himself unless I can boost him up, and I don't have enough magic to do that. So yeah, I'm going to go ahead and cast Beating Heart for 4 successes. I would normally take 1 damage, but because of my dojo ability, I no longer do, and I'm going to deal 6 damage to an enemy anywhere on the map. And that'll be this guy, defeating him entirely. And I could have Thaddy use Golem's Throw to hurt the Golem. That'd be kind of a waste because it deals the enemy's hearts, which would have been 5, which would let me potentially hurt or kill a really strong guy. So yeah, I think I'm going to save that and just deal with the Golem myself. And by the way, William did defeat somebody, so he gets to heal somebody for 1, and I'm not 100% sure if this is right, but I think I can choose to heal somebody who's already at full health just to get rid of the Doom. Makes sense to me. And remember, I rolled 6 successes, but I only needed 4 of them. And remember, I can spend 2 successes to get a +1 token, so I'll go in and do that, so now I have 2 +1 tokens waiting on magic to boost a future roll. Okay, and William's got 1 action left. Let's go ahead and try to flip the Golem, so I'll do a range attack. And again, it's +1 yellow from my bow. Nice! So I only need 2 to flip the Golem, so that'll be another +1 token I can add to my ranged row. Here we go, so he flips, and he does go down in strength. Generally that happens, so now he only has 2 yellow dice instead of 2 yellow and a white, so he'll be a little bit weaker when he attacks us in a moment. So that's it for the hero turn. Now we go into the level up phase. First, we resolve any events. So here's the one we had from the event. It says, you strike up the lonely fire in an old banquet hall and pour out a toast to the painting above the master chair. It depicts a beautiful queen in an immaculate red dress laced with gold and stitched with the imagery of lions, tigers, and bears. Oh my. Her stance is powerful, yet her face is kind. Okay, cool. So we go to stage 3. As you eat, you'd swear the painting has changed. You give it a closer look. It depicts a beautiful queen in an immaculate red dress laced with gold. I think that's the same. And stitched with the imagery of lions, elephants, and bears. So this is pretty obvious. They changed it to elephants. Her stance is powerful, yet her face is kind. Without referencing the previous card, choose one word that describes what's different about the painting. It is the elephants. So we'll go to D. And you'll see something else would have happened if we had not guessed. If you guessed elephant, you touch the elephant on her dress and the painting bursts into flames. The canvas smolders into a few burning words which write, you notice me, before the ash falls from the page, leaving some spell instructions behind. Choose a hero who discovers card 241, Elephant Form. So this is a cool thing about the campaign. Even though each scenario is basically a one-off, you will discover cards, which means you permanently unlock them into the deck, which is, again, kind of a minor legacy element. And then this event goes away forever. And here's the Elephant Form. It's actually a potion because in the upper right, you'll see that it costs a +1 magic token or discarding another card. It says cast anytime on any ally. Until this round ends, any dice they've rolled which show a 2 count as a 3. Wow, so once we have a lot of red dice, which tend to roll 2s often, that'll be awesome. And since it's a potion, it doesn't require magic skill, I'm going to actually give it to Thaddy because William's hand size is almost full. You'll see that in a second. So speaking of that, before we level up, we resolve card draw abilities. Thaddy doesn't have any, but that's why he started with an extra action, whereas William gets to draw 2 red cards. And you can see him down here. At the end of your turn, you can only hold up to 6 cards. So we've got what we previously unlocked, Petals of Life, cast during a hero's turn. Each hero may pay any number of hearts. Then he may distribute that many hearts +2 among the heroes. So basically heals us a little bit and lets us kind of trade hearts around ourselves to maybe keep one hero from dying. And then Life Cycle. Choose any region. You may either deal it 3, 4, or 6 area of effect damage, AoE. That means it hits every enemy there. That's awesome. Or heal every hero on it for that amount. Wow, okay, we got a lot of healing or attacking. This is great. All right, now we can mix and match and pass around our loot. I could give the wand that William has to Thaddy just to boost him with his dojo ability, but it's so good for William, I'm not going to. So we'll just go ahead and cash in these 2 enemies. They each have a 1 in the upper left, so we're going to get 2 bounty coins total. They both get discarded. Get out of here, guys. And we look with 2 bounty coins, we're each getting 2 stars. And just to remind you, 3 stars will give you another action, whereas 1 star will either place a white die on a row or level a white die up to a yellow or a yellow up to a red. And you can absolutely choose to hold on to stars, so like we could save up to get an action up next time, but I think we'll both level stuff up. Let's maybe have Thaddy spend his 1 to get a white die and then level up into a yellow, so his melee is not quite as terrible. And I think William will do the same for his range. So they'll both kind of boost their weaker one. And by the way, we can absolutely level up our blank row. It just obviously will take a lot more energy to make it useful. All right, and with that, we go into the villain round. And I know it's pretty small, but first the villain's going to cast some spells. Then they're going to try to summon enemies. Then all the minions on the board will attack, including the golem we left alive. And then finally, the villain will level up, and this day track will advance. All right, so first we're doing spells. We look at his abilities, which is 2 yellow and a white. We roll all of those. Wow, that was a terrible roll. I love it. So that is a single success. And here's how spells work. Each villain has a different mix of types of spells. I'll tell you right now that the Keeper is all about ordering other minions around. But they always have a unique spell that's always on top of their deck. For this guy, it's Harrowing Scream. And it has a cost in the upper right, which is 0 successes. So they can always cast this for free. But he's got 1 success left, so we're going to keep on flipping spells until they've spent all their successes or until they can't afford a card, and then we'll stop. And wow, he got pretty lucky. He got a 1 card. What are the chances of that? So he has used all his successes. If he had any left because he couldn't afford to cast a spell, each success would turn into a +1 for that row, for his spellcasting row. So villains get a 1-to-1 conversion, whereas we get 2-to-1. And now we resolve the cards from left to right, so the reverse order they were drawn. Hit the deck says all bombs explode. This is another thing that was introduced in a previous scenario. Basically, they get placed on the board and they can deal damage to everybody. It says minions are immune to this blast. And then if there were no bombs, place one in the lead hero's region. Oh, this is important. I forgot the last step of the hero level up phase. I'm going to pass this to William to be the new lead hero. But not that it really matters much because we're both in the same region, so the bomb comes down. And whenever any bombs are placed, you roll a white die, the 50-50, 0, or 1 die. And if you roll a 1 success, every bomb on the board explodes. So roll for it, you butt. Ah, they got us. So bombs deal 2 damage to their tile and every adjacent tile. So both William and Fatty are going to take 2 damage, but because only the first effect said it doesn't affect minions, and this new effect did not say that, the Golem Workhorse is also going to take 2, which means he's dead, and we'll get to level up for him next turn. He doesn't get the chance to attack us, so I'm totally okay with that. Luckily, Fatty is no longer doomed, so it's only 2 damage, not doubled to 4. And William's also down to 12. So that card's discarded, and we go on to Harrowing Scream, which again is going to happen every single turn. The lead hero gains Doomed, then each minion evade moves 3 towards that hero. So if there were minions, they would have automatically gone towards that person to try to take advantage of the Doom and hurt them more, but luckily there aren't any, so this just goes to the top of his deck again. But William is doomed, that's not great. And that was spells, now we're going to do him summoning monsters, this leadership one here. So 3 yellows and a white, come on, blanks again would be great. Ooh, 4. So each tier of enemy has a different cost. This one costs 3 successes to summon, this one costs 5, and the last enemy I think costs 7. And the boss summons the most expensive ones he can. So he's going to summon a single chump for 3 of those 4 successes. And the last success, 1-to-1 for bosses, means that he gets a +1 token for his next leadership role. And the chump we got is a pretty basic one, a Cuddle Hound. And minions always get summoned onto those purple portal spaces we saw before. And they want to get summoned close as they can to the most hurt hero, which in this case we're tied on. The tiebreaker for basically everything enemies do is the cardinal directions. They prefer the most north, then the most east. Oh, by the way, this bomb is gone. It blew up. So there we go, there's a Cuddle Hound, and he is unfortunately going to immediately attack. Because each villain round, after attacking, you activate the minions, and you activate them in north and then eastmost order. So looking at the Cuddle Hound, he has 3 actions at the bottom left, and all he has is a single melee attack. Some enemies will have 2 different types of attack, and they'll try to do both. So first he wants to move towards the closest hero, and then he wants to melee attack them, and then he'll just sit there, even though he still has actions left, because he wants to stay where he can to do his attack again. So he's going to roll a red, a yellow, and a white. And luckily when we're both on here, we can pick which one he targets by choosing a defender. That person becomes the defender for the entire rest of the round, so other enemies, if they existed, would also attack him. And I'm certainly going to choose to have it be Thaddy, since William is doomed, we don't want the damage doubled. A red, a yellow, and a white could potentially do a lot of damage. All right, here we go, let's hope he rolls badly. Oof. So yeah, that would have been 8 damage instead of 4 if it had been on William with his Doom. So there we go, Thaddy is hurt. If we go down to 0, the boss is going to be leveled up more. All right, the boss level is up somewhat similarly to us. We see how much loot he got, which is 0. And generally, the boss in these scenarios at least only gets loot in increments of 3, because every one of us he defeats, he gets 3 coins. So if he had defeated one of us, he would have gained 5 extra life to make him tougher to defeat, and he would have gotten 3 extra stars, but with 0 coins, he's getting a single star to spend. And unlike us, instead of spending 1 experience to upgrade 1 die, every time he has 2 stars, he'll spend both of them to upgrade every single row. So first gaining whites until he's run out of whites, then upgrading them to yellows, and then eventually all the way to red. But here he's only got 1 experience, so he can't do that yet. But wait, we advance the day tracker, and it says very small, if no heroes have been defeated this game, which we have not yet, the villain spends an extra 2 stars, and then we read the day 1 entry. So 2 stars is going to give him a level up in all of his rows, and he'll still have the 1 extra for later. So there we go, he's a little bit stronger in everything. Now we read the day 1 entry. Pass to the lead hero, the echoing screams draw near, and you begin feeling jumpy at every crawling shadow in the torchlight. Okay, each hero in view of 1 or more enemies must discard a spell or feat card. Ouch. And I think for William, I'm going to get rid of the Petals of Life. I know it's his only potion, but he's got so much other healing stuff going on. And as for Thaddy, I think Hail of Arrows is kind of the weakest, so we'll get rid of that. All right, and that brings us to the day 2 hero phase. I'm going to actually have William hold and have Thaddy go first. And again, Thaddy's got 3 actions. And he'd like to use his range attack on the Cuddle Hound because that's more likely to hit him. So Thaddy's going to do a move action. He'll go 1, and that's only because he has evade. He can move away from the enemy. He'll loot, and usually that would go to the level up stack, but here we're going to get to look at it immediately. It's a Rusty Sandwich. Discard any time to consume it and gain 2 shield tokens, which will each prevent 2 damage. That is a terrible item, but all Thaddy cares about is getting +1 white die for each item from his dojo ability, so he's going to hang on to that sandwich as long as he needs to. Okay, he's still got 2 movement left. He can use his nautical helmet to teleport from one portal straight to another one. Now, he does have 1 movement left, and he could scout, but I wanted to shoot the Cuddlehound, so I guess he'll just stop here. And now for his second action, he's going to do a range attack. He's got his 3 reds and 1 yellow, plus 2 whites from his items. Come on, get 5 or more. That looks good. 4, 5, 6, 7. Awesome. So we'll be able to kill the guy and have 2 extra for a +1 range token. So the Cuddlehound is gone, and that means I've freed up my friend to move away. Oh, I forgot, the Golem also died from the bombs. We're going to get a little bit more leveling up. Oh, by the way, the base camp, our starting tile, has the ability that once during each hero's turn, they may spend a +1 token to heal 2 hearts, as long as no enemies are on the tile. And I think, sure, Thaddy will go ahead and do that, because we don't want the boss to kill him and level up more. All right, for Thaddy's last action, I mean, gosh, I want to get to those tokens. This is kind of my last chance, so let's go over here. And he has 2 move left, as long as he doesn't get an event card. And ooh, he did it, and it can curve. By the way, each of these can flip to be a different orientation, so you can kind of freely rotate and flip it, but everything has to connect to hallways. You can't have like a hallway going into a wall, and if a tile can't be used, you put it to the top of the stack and you draw again. If no tiles can be used, then you automatically place a dead end. And just to show you one way the game balances for different player counts, you'll see here at the bottom it says if there were 6 or more players, we could get a loot and a level 2 enemy here, but here it's nothing, and I still have 2 more movement. And ooh, it's another portal I can teleport to. So second move, and let's scout again, and hey, hopefully it's not an event, we can just grab those. And indeed, it did work out that way. Now, it might look like I can't place that, because that would go into a wall, but if you look at the board, you'll see these arrows, and that's because the Labyrinth wraps from right to left, top to down, think Pac-Man. So if I flip this like that, then it now connects here. It lets me wrap around the board that way, and I can go up that way. And the best part is no event, so I can move in and I can loot both of these. We've got our first Sun Shard, which again will give us a bonus when the boss comes out, and we've got another bounty to help us level up more. And the Sun Shards actually lock into this cool little Sun Shield. Neat. Now, I have a slightly tough choice here. I could scout now, which would get a tile there and there. And the thing is, this one won't hurt me movement-wise because my movement action is finished. This is just a free action. But if I get a bunch of enemies, if I get another event, is William close enough? It would take him 1 move just to get here, and then another move to like get into range to attack. So he couldn't even really help me that much except by casting maybe 1 spell. So maybe I think I'm gonna wait because I don't have to do the free action. I don't have to scout yet. I can do it at the start of my next turn. So instead we'll switch over to William, and he'll take a move action for his first of 3. So he's got 2 move left. Should I heal? Oh, he's hurt 2 and he's doomed. So yeah, I'm definitely gonna heal. So let's get rid of, I don't think, well, I might want to try to cast 2 spells. So I'm gonna get rid of my ranged one. And that both flips away the doomed and also heals me. That's great. I've still got 2 move left. I'm going to go here. I like to often explore the ones when I have moves remaining that have fewer exits because I have less of a chance of getting an event right away. And that is how it worked out, although I got a curve. I don't really want that. I wanted to go straight up to that bounty token, but so it goes. I have to use it. All right, I'll move again for my last movement and explore again. Man, another dead end, but our second event, which might be good because we want to at least get 1 of them a day generally. So before I do my next 2 actions, let's look at it. This is the last Roman numeral 1 event, then we'll get to Roman numeral 2 and 3. Mirror image. A gate rattles against the wall. A helmet shines within. A mirror reflects the room, except in its reflection there is no helm. Instead, a terrible toothy beast rattles the bars. Okay, I can open the gate and take the helmet, ignoring what I see in the reflection, or I can wink at my reflection. I'm going to take the helmet, I guess. You open the gate and retrieve the beautiful helmet. You check it out in the mirror when your jaw drops. You have no reflection. There's no sign of the beast either, except for a graphic trail of blood which leads down the hall. You cling to the helmet as the fate of your reflection gnaws at your soul. So I basically become a vampire. Okay, I get to the cursed helm. Maybe that doesn't sound good. You must equip this treasure. No! And you cannot unequip it this game. Wow, that was terrible. And then I get a loot and a level 1 enemy, and if there were 3 of us, so we almost got that. Wow, 2 level 2s, elites, and another loot. So here we go, the Cursed Helm. As you start each of your turns, you gain 2 shields, that's good, and become doomed, that's bad. This is interesting. So the thing is, doomed only triggers, the doubling of damage only triggers after you prevent any damage, and each shield prevents 2 damage. So there's a chance that the shields would cancel it out anyway. Oh, and since it's William, he can, anytime he kills somebody, heal for 1. So there's a good chance I can get rid of that doomed every time, which means I'm just getting 2 free shields every turn, which is ridiculous. So this helm might not be as cursed as it would be for other characters. All right, we've got a loot there, and we've got a minion. It's another Cuddlehound. All right, so that's 5 life. I've got 2 actions left. I could do a ranged attack, although 5 damage with 2 reds and 2 yellows seems really unlikely. Or I can cast a spell. Let's do the spell first. All right, here we go. Let's give it a try. Oh, that was a good roll. That is 7. If I spend a +1, it'll be 8, which would let me kill the Cuddlehound with Beating Heart. And ooh, start getting a more powerful elemental with Elemental Spark. I like that. Yeah, so let's do that. 1 and 2. That adds up to 8. So I'm casting both of them at full power with the +1. So I can deal 6 damage to anyone on the map. I will go ahead and do that, although I could heal, but whatever. It's easier to kill somebody before they attack you. And then Elemental Spark is going to summon a 3-heart elemental to my region. So elementals are pretty awesome. They get up to 6 life, and in the actual game, you'll have a d6 you put in their base to show how much they have. They have 2 actions, and they can roll 1 red die of melee for each of their hearts. So up to 6 red dice if you get them fully buffed, which my other spell would allow me to do if this guy doesn't get hurt. And here's the elemental. If you dial them up their states, so now he's at 3 out of 6. That shows how much life he has, because again, he can't really put the die on his base here. And he's going to take his turn immediately after mine, his 2 actions. So I've got 1 action left. The elemental can loot. The only thing he can't do is scout, so I'll definitely have him go and grab that. So the question is, do I want to power surge or do I want to move? I think I'm going to have, I think I'm going to have him go down here to be ready for like the next set of scouting. And then for my elementals 2 actions, I'll go 1, 2, 3. And then 1. I like to keep my elementals away from my heroes. In fact, I'll have them go all the way over here because I don't like bombs attacking them and other things like enemies getting them because it's so hard to get their health up. So 1 loot for us. And that's the end of the round. There are no events because the one we had already resolved itself. So we look at the items. Primal Band. Green spells, which cost hits to cast, cost 1 less. That would be great for a green spellcaster, but not as good for me. And it's only a white die instead of a yellow. So I could get rid of this for 1 more bounty. You can see that in the upper left. You can trash your loot freely during the level up to do that. But instead, I'm going to give it to Thaddeus. It's not going to help him the slightest bit, except that he'll have 1 more white die. So now he's got +3 white dice to every action. So he's actually a 3 white spellcaster if you wanted to be. But man, it's going to really boost his melee and ranged. I like it. As for actual bounty, we've got 3 1-cost minions and then the coins. That'll be 4. That's 4 stars for each of us. Awesome. Now, let's see. I think Thaddy is going to get a 4th action because I want him to be able to maybe draw some cards as an action on some of his turns. And for the last one, I'll boost my melee. I mean, my range is already pretty powerful, but I guess it wouldn't hurt to be even a bit stronger. That could really be my kill guys in 1 hit attack. Meanwhile, Welliam, I think, is maybe okay with 3 actions, especially if he keeps his elemental alive for a while. So what if I just do a yellow in both spots? We'll try that out. Okay, and we'll give the initiative token back to Thaddy, which means he'll be targeted by lead player effects. Oh, and something I forgot is the Hero's Hoard. Whenever you gain bounty over here, you also put it over here. So I've gained 6 so far. And this is how you get the permanent supplies, the level ups for your base camp, based on how many bounty coins you get total. That's how I got like all those little upgrades at the beginning of the scenario. Now, don't worry, they do have values you can use if you're playing one-off, so if you don't want to like kind of keep track of all of this. But yeah, this is kind of a fun way to reward you for doing better as you go forward into the campaign. All right, now we get to the Keeper's second round, and here we go. Okay, not a great roll, so that's spells, so he's got 3. He gets his automatic one. And then, okay, wow, this is weird. Most of them will actually have multiple values, kind of like our spells, and he'll cast the most expensive one he can afford. But here it's Release the Bombs. Okay, find the row of the map with the lowest health hero is on. Place 1 bomb on each tile on that row. Darn it, it's going to hit my elemental. Ah, yes, it might. Look, this is going right on my elemental because unfortunately Thaddy has the fewest hearts. So now, if we had to place a 6 bomb, they would immediately explode, all of them, and then we would place the another bomb. But here we get to roll it. If we don't roll a white, then we won't get hurt. That'd be great. Sorry, not if we don't roll a white, though. If we don't roll a 1, come on. Yes, okay. That's really good. Because what happens is bombs that are adjacent kind of form a chain that deal their damage to everybody. So the elemental would have taken 4 damage from these 2 bombs. Thaddy would have only taken 2. Those 2 would have blown up for no effect. But yeah, losing my elemental would have sucked. So I'm glad that that did not happen. I definitely set him to the wrong place. But if another bomb comes out, lots of explosions. Hopefully it'll hit some enemies and not just us. All right, and then his Harrowing Scream, which remember gives the lead hero doomed. And again, there are no minions for him to have moved towards the lead hero. Oh, that's Thaddy. I don't want him to die. All right, now we roll Leadership. Don't summon too much. Ooh, 4, and he will always spend +1s if they would be effective. 5 will get him an elite enemy, a level 2. As you can imagine, they're a lot nastier than the level 1s. Let's see, what is it? Muscle Boy's Top Dog. 9 health to kill, 5 to flip, 4 yellow melee, and he inflicts doom on whoever he gets. This is bad. He's going to come after Thaddy, which means he's going to go right here. Oh, you know what? I just realized, for better or worse, the option he actually prefers is the Elemental, which means he's almost certainly going to kill the elemental, but on the positive side, we won't take doubled 4 dice of damage, which might have killed Thaddy. And the Doom won't do anything because he can't Doom an elemental. So we'll hope that he rolls terribly with the 4 yellows, but again, probably the 3 life elemental is gone. All right, let's see. Come on, roll bad, roll bad. Ah, that's enough. The elemental is dead, but the boss doesn't get any coins for that, so that's okay. And William can potentially summon him again, but a weaker version. All right, and we're going to read the day 2 entry. Day 3 is the same thing where he'll get bonus stars if he hasn't defeated any of us yet. But day 2 doesn't have that, which means since he got 0, he does get 1 star, so he's going to level up anyway. With that 1 star and the one already on his board. That's just a white everywhere. Yeah, he's getting pretty strong. All right, let's see. Passive Elite Hero. Your equipment weighs upon you as the harrowing cries of an approaching monstrosity wake you through the night. Each hero in view of one or more enemies must place one of their treasures face down in their tile, and then spawn, if we had 6 or more players, an elite level 2 minion. So view means an uninterrupted line from the enemy, so... Oh, wait a second. I'm sorry. Thaddy's over here. That's William, and he would have gone towards the guy who's hurt more. So actually, he did run in. He did deal H damage to Thaddy because of the Doom. Ouch. At least my elemental's alive. Yay. So yeah, Thaddy is down to 2 life, although it does flip him back to regular health. And maybe William will be able to cast a healing spell. William got Ghost Walk. Cast during anyone's turn. They gain Evade and +1 action and can walk through walls. Wow. And another one, Twist of Fate. Cast after any roll has been made. Change one of the dice to a number of your choosing. That's excellent. I'm sorry, the guy only rolled 3 damage, not 4. So I guess Thaddy has 2 more life. And then Thaddy has to drop one of his items, but the nice thing is he can just loot it right back into his supply for free after or if he gets rid of this guy. That's the problem. I guess he'll get rid of the Primal Band? I don't know. This guy is guarding it now, the jerk. Okay, so Thaddy's the starting player, and I think he'll charge in. First thing I'm going to have him do is scout these 2 spots next to him because he can, and then we can kind of assess where things look. Okay, so that's a curve. We definitely want that up here to get to the tokens there. And, oh, a 3-way? Oh, no events. Okay. Oh, wait a second. What the heck am I doing? This entire time, look, there was... This dead end would have made it impossible for the 3-way to be there. I forget which one went first, but let me just find like a random straightaway. Oh, and it has an event on it. I don't even know how to fix this. Whatever. We'll just put the straightaway in there and not worry about it for now. I think they actually have a rule for what happens when you mess up, and I don't remember what it is. Okay, so either way, we got that, and I guess he's not exploring anymore. So if I move up here and I don't get an event, I could grab that, move back, and then shoot this guy. I could do a melee attack before I leave. He's got 5 to flip, 9 to kill. Realistically, on average, my range attack will do 4.5, 5.5, 6, 6.5 damage with the bonus white dice. I have no +1s. Whereas my melee attack will do on average like about 4. So if I attack melee, I have a very small chance of flipping the guy. Whereas if I attack with range, I probably won't kill him, but I'll certainly flip him. Let's see, how tough is he? He's only at 4 once you flip him, so that part's nice at least. All right, let's go for the long shot. I'm going to take a melee swing at him. Come on, 5, come on, 5. Oh my gosh, both the whites hit. I got a 5, yes. That flips him to his weaker side. Now for my second action with evade, I'm going to move away and scout here. I kind of hope I don't get enemies. Okay, that one doesn't work. And that one does work. Wow, no events. So we might need to explore more to get some events going. This is check. Yes, I didn't mess up this time. This one can wrap around to there. Oh, this is perfect. I've still got 2 movement left. I'll go 1, 2. Not going to scout in case that would have ended my movement. That'll get this and a coin for us. All right, so for his third action, he'll shoot this guy. He just needs 4. That should be easy to get. All right, here we go. Yeah, it's way more than enough. So that is 8. So I can kill him and still have 4 left for 2 + 1 on my range. Nice. And he's gone. It's going to level us up 2. And I actually got 1 action left. I forgot that I gained another action. I could explore again, although like before, I'm kind of worried how far away I am. I could run through here. That would get me away from the bombs, which seems like maybe a good idea. And I can get the loot, although that wouldn't get me any more cards. But yeah, let's go and do that. So that's 1, 2, 3. And I'll go and equip this right away. Again, with his ability. Boom. All right, and William is right here ready to scout. So let's do that before he spends any of his actions. All right. Oh, a 3-way. That's great for the bounty tokens here. Still no event. And oh, okay. I think that's probably impossible, right? Yes, because there is something up here I couldn't link to. We put that to the side and draw again. And that's also impossible. So we draw again. And that one would work. Okay, so these both go on top of the deck. This has to go like that. We don't have 4 more players, so not spawning anybody. All right, so I haven't actually taken a movement action yet. I guess going over here to get those would be the best way to do it. All right, so we'll go first action, move, and we still got 2 actions left. We'll scout straight. And actually, that could go here, and that would lead right to the bounty that was kind of lost to the north end. That's great. We still got 2 movement left if we don't get an exclamation point. There we go. I knew there were some of them out there. If I want to close off the dungeon more, I guess I want to have it like go that way. All right, so he's going to lose his remaining movement, so he's just got 2 actions left. But if he can kill the guys that are probably about to pop up, he might be able to get some bounty and some sun shards. There's not too much left to explore. We've got 1 spot here. This leads to there. This leads over here, but then that also leads over there. So there's a decent chance that'll get closed off pretty quickly. And there's the second to last event. The Dread Lift. So many of these doors open to a brick wall that you stop trying until creak. Every door slides open and a menagerie of beasts bursts forth. Gather minions on the map and the minions below. So there are no minions on the map. Shuffle them in a random order and place them all in the scouted region. What? We've got a level 1 and a level 3 right before. I only have 2 actions left. This is not great. And then this will go to the stash for later. Let's see, the level 3 is Grungor the Elder. He's got 2 attacks. He places bombs, which is already problematic. And he's got a ton of life. And also a silly golem just blocking us with stone skin. And they said shuffle, and yeah, the golem will be on top. I expected that. There we go. Wow. Oh, you know what? I forgot all about this. William has to become doomed and get 2 shields. The shields go right on top of your health marker to remind you that you have to take them first. And now let's see. The bomb part of that guy isn't too bad because Fatty's not in range of all these bombs. And if I move the elemental, he won't be either. So I really just want to hit these guys as hard as I can. Unfortunately, I don't have any great attack spells. Like the most damage my area of effect one can do is 6, and the guy to get flipped is 8. But a range attack would have almost no chance of hitting him either. Darn it. What I could do is spend one of my last 2 actions drawing more spells and hope to get something more powerful. Sure, although... But then I would have way too many spells. That seems dumb. All right, so for my next action, let's just cast some magic and see how we do. Only 5. So for 4 of the 5, I could boost my elemental to be a level 6, which means he'd have a decent chance of maybe flipping that guy, maybe? Or I can do the life cycle, but all we'll do is flip the golem. What a waste. I could use Twist of Fate to change one of those dice to a 2, but no, I think killing the elemental is okay, so I'll get him up to a level 6 elemental. I just realized he's too far away to actually even help this turn. But that's okay. That's okay, sort of, I guess. Ow, this is going to hurt. All right, well, what the heck? We'll at least go ahead and flip the golem with a range attack. Okay, that's 3, 4, 5. We do flip him, and then we'll go ahead and get a +1 for the other 3. All right, and the golem, I'm just going to have, like, hide down here where he can help out in a second. Because, again, I'd rather my hero get hurt than lose this great ability to deal extra damage. All right, we go to level up. Let's see what this card did. You hear some rowdy demons from the Muscle Boys chanting, Gluteus, Gluteus. You see the buffest one is straining to lift a massive dumbbell. Challenge Gluteus to a liftoff. So one of us has to either roll and try to get 6 successes with melee, or knock the weights onto his head with 6 range successes. So I think the clear choice here is Fatty with range. He has 2 +2s that can boost as well. And he's got a lot of dice. Just need to get a 6. Come on. 3, 6, 7. Okay, so not enough to get another +1, but I don't have to spend any either. One well-placed arrow knocks Gluteus off his game and the weight crashes down, ending him. The demons scatter in fear, loathing you for desecrating their holy place, the gym. Okay, the tester discovers Sneaky Dodge, card 261. Defeat the demon minion on the map with the least hearts, if any. Oh, man. I don't think any of them are demons. That would have been amazing. Yeah, this guy's definitely like a dwarf, not a demon. Now let's see. Sneaky Dodge. Wow, it costs 2 tokens or cards. That's what the top means. Play as a nearby hero loses hearts. Choose anyone in their region who pays those hearts instead, other than the attacker. That is such a cool ability. All right, let's see. We've got 3 coins here. Unless we want to throw away a loot to make it 4 stars, because you can, again, trash loot during any of these steps. Yeah, you know what? I'm going to get rid of, I don't know, the Primal Band is basically useless. And that'll give us each 4 stars instead of 3 to spend. So for Thad, he already has enough actions. I really want this to be great. So 4 upgrades. Let's change the white to a yellow. And actually, let's change another yellow to a red. And then I'll get 1 more yellow for melee. There we go. This gives him a pretty good chance of at least flipping that enemy. Okay, and William could get another action. Should he? I'll do 1, 2, 3 to get my ranged up. And then 4th, I guess I'll get a white for my spells. William's getting 2 red spells. There's a nice one. Annihilation. Attack a nearby region for 6 yellow damage. And for each dice rolled, you may pay 1 heart to set it to a 2 instead of whatever it rolled. So I could make that up to 12 damage automatically. Wow. Then Fragile Mortality. Attack a nearby region for 2, 5, or 8 damage. Each hero may choose to pay 2 hearts to add +2 damage per 2 hearts paid. So that, again, could be 12 damage automatically with us hurting ourselves some. Nice. All right, but the Keeper's not going to take this line down. Let's see what happens. Oh my gosh, these are the worst spell rolls I've ever had. That is 1 success. Okay, so he does his Harrowing Scream, and proper Dust Up. It's a 0, so he's still drawing. And there, he can't afford that one, so he'll get a +1 to spells next time. Okay, proper dust up. Teleport all minions to a region which is adjacent to the hero with the least hearts. Well, that'll be fatty. But yeah, that means both those loots are free. All right, so nearest to, and they prefer north and then east. North they won't consider because it's blocked. So there we go. They are there ready to attack. So Thaddy's definitely going to die, but it's actually not a bad time because he would have gotten +2 stars if nobody had died for day 3 anyway, so I'm not too worried about it. All right, and then Herring Scream, the lead hero gains Doomed, which, I think... yes, that's Welliam, who's already doomed, so I don't care. Oh, wait, then each minion evade moves 3 towards that hero. Maybe they won't attack Thaddy. Maybe I wanted them to? I don't know. Let's see, evade moves 3, so that'll be 1, 2, 3. Yep, they're going to prefer... Actually, they're going to prefer to attack my Elemental, which I don't love. I don't love that, because Welliam might have actually survived at least some of these attacks. Well, let's not forget that we still have more minions coming, probably. Just got the 5, so they will summon an elite. It's going to be a super big doggy, and he wants to be next to Thaddy, so there he goes. So the enemies activate northmost first, so the big doggy runs in and attacks Thaddy. 2 reds and a yellow. Thaddy's got 4 life. He has a chance here. Okay. So I could use Twist of Fate to change that 2 into a 0, but again, I don't necessarily mind if Thaddy dies. He's going to come right back, and the boss will barely level up more. He'll just get extra life. So I'm going to let Thaddy get killed. And he gets placed near the boss, and basically that'll remind the boss to get the extra coins. But he'll have full health in a second anyway. Okay, next is the Golem. He prefers to attack my Elemental, which I guess is okay for a red and a yellow, which will be... 3, okay. And I'm pretty sure the Elemental is going to die from this guy attacking, so I'm not too worried about it. All right, and Grungor has Bomb ×2. So he's got 3 actions. First, he's going to try to shoot the Elemental with a ranged one. Then if the Elemental's not dead, he's going to move in, and then for his 3rd action, do the melee. If he does kill the Elemental, he'll come in and attack Welliam instead. So first, the range attack. If the Elemental can dodge, then he might survive. Oof, even my Twist of Fate could not help with that. That is more than enough. Elemental is gone. Then, as I mentioned, he's going to run over here, and that means he's going to drop bombs here. He won't kill the Golem, which is what I was hoping for. So he does a 3 yellow attack on Welliam, although the shield should stop that. Whoa, really? That was 5 damage. Now, each shield stops 2, so that means a single point of damage gets through, but that will be 2 damage because of the Doom. But I'm about to get 2 shields back, not too worried about Welliam. He's pretty defensive now. Then this guy tries to put down 2 bombs, but they're already on the board, so they all explode. But luckily for us, they are not near anybody. They can't go through walls. But then he puts 2 new bombs down, and will roll, and on a hit, he will blow them all up. All right, let's see if it happens. Yep. So that is 4 more damage to Welliam, but thankfully not doubled. And he doesn't hurt himself with his own bombs, or with him having 8 to flip. It doesn't really matter anyway. All right, so Welliam's down to 8. And because the boss defeated a hero, he's going to get 3 coins, so that's 3 stars and 5 more health. Now it'll be 70 to kill him. And 3 stars means he'll save 1, and he'll level all these up. So where he still has room, he'll put whites. And where he doesn't, he'll upgrade to yellows. So he's getting very strong. We go to day 3. If we can't get the last event done, then he's just going to spawn anyway. All right, pass to the lead hero. A massive horned figure rummages in your supplies. It unleashes an abhorrent wail and flees into the dark. Okay, each hero who's not in view of the base camp must pay 2 hearts from hunger. And Welliam is not. Thaddy's coming back to the base camp, so he'll take 2 damage. Man, this is a nasty situation. Look at all of the enemies we got to deal with. I don't even know if we can afford to explore, man. Let's see, I think I'm going to have Welliam hold and have Thaddy go first. Welliam's spells can kill the doggy. Maybe I have Thaddy come over and shoot Grungor? Yeah, I guess we'll try that. Oh, and he's got evade, so he'll go ahead and go 1, 2, 3 for his move, which means we get a Sun Shard, we get a coin, and both those loot, and he can equip one of them right away. That's great. Let's see what they are. Power Shield, as your level up step ends, you may gain 1 shield. That seems great. And Rocket Boots, you gain 1 action. As you reveal an event or an ambush while scouting, gain 1 shield. Oh my gosh. So yeah, let's unequip the stupid sandwich thing and equip both of these, at least for now. Heck yeah. That was 3, so he'll go ahead and scout. Maybe we'll get the final event, but maybe we don't want it. No, it's a 3-way. I don't think that would fit. No, it wouldn't. Curve with an event. Nope, that wouldn't fit either. Actually, we only need a dead end, basically, it looks like. So maybe this is a terrible idea. Why am I scouting here? It's another curve. That's a 3-way. It's a curve. I don't know if there are any dead ends left. We got a lot of them early, so I think we'll just use an automatic dead end. So they have these automatic dead ends if you can't place anything, and they do have an event, so we are going to reveal the final event. Maybe we shouldn't have done that. The final battle. Place the villain in the scouted tile. Oh, that's right, he's already here. We read the final battle entry, and we flip this to B in the stash. So yeah, I'm not really happy the villain's out. That was maybe dumb. Okay, final battle. Isabella had a plan. We have daylight. We have sun shards. It's our duty to try to break the curse. We don't know there is a curse. Plus, it may be unwise to wager our defensive protection against a creature as ornery as the Keeper, Buddy said. Perhaps we should save these shards for when it inevitably pummels us. The Warlock in particular looks soft. Yes, I do. William took some offense to this. Even if there isn't a curse, trying to break it is the right thing to do. Discard 2 Sun Shards from the Sun Shield. That's one choice. Or that's crazy talk. We need those shards to survive. I will discard 2 Sun Shards because I'm about to get a 4th one, so I'll still have some left to heal. Oh, no, that's right. They all get removed. Darn it. Okay, then we're going to gather minions on the map and place them with the villain. And then if there are fewer minions than the heroes, which there aren't, we would get an automatic level 2, so that's good. Or sorry, there definitely aren't less. And then remove Sun Shards from the map and shield. For each one in the Sun Shield, every hero gains 1 shield or 2 healing. Okay, so we kind of have too many shields anyway to fully benefit from it. So I'm going to go ahead and waste 2 of these. All the ones come off the board, and then this will give each of us 2 healing or 1 shield, not that pickup. So Sir Thaddy gets a shield from the leftover Sun Shard. He's also going to get one from his rocket boots from exploring, and then he's going to get another shield from the power shield at the end of the turn. So he's going to have the max of 3 shields. That is -6 damage. Love that. Whereas William's going to get 2 healing from 6 to 8, and then he'll get his 2 shields at the start of his turn. All right, so that was 1 action for Thaddy. He's got 3 left. He's going to do a range attack against Grungor and try to hurt him as much as he can. And by the way, here is the giant nasty boss. And we could start attacking him right away instead of the enemies. And he's got 70 life, though, and you got to hit him in increments of 5. We'll get to all that. I'm not going to attack him yet. Here's Thaddy's attack. Come on, give me good stuff. Give me good stuff. That's pretty good. 4, 6, 8, 9. Awesome. So I did get to the 8 to flip him. But even with my 2 +1s, I could not get enough to kill him totally. So he flips, and that's what I figured. He had to be weaker on his other side. Only 6 to kill him now. Which makes me think maybe Thaddy should run in and finish the job. Yeah. In fact, he can do this. He can go 1, 2, 3. Thank God for evasion. And that'll pick up another coin for us, because we are going to get 1 final chance to level up. And he'll do a melee attack to try to kill this guy. Let's see, that's 4 yellow plus 3 whites. Remember, the 3 whites are from his ability from the dojo. Come on, I need a 6. I need a 6. It seems maybe possible, likely. Ooh! 3, 6, just got it. Yes. So that's big. That was the toughest enemy on the board, and he's going to level us up a bunch. Love it. But that's it for Thaddy. And he's still got his throwing skill, but he doesn't have anybody to throw the guy at, which is unfortunate. All right, so then William can try to take out the dog and the golem, or at least the dog. The golem doesn't bother me too much. He's gaining his doom. He's getting his 2 shields. Yay. And yeah, he's going to go 1, 2, I think, and try to kill the dog first. And he's going to cast a spell for his second action. He's only got 1 more. Okay, roll. So 2, 4, 6. And I could go to 7. We're going to cast Annihilation. I think that's my best chance of killing that dog next to me. So that would be 5 out of 7. Yeah, or Fragile Mortality, I guess we could kill him, but we'd have to take some damage. Life Cycle would not do enough. Okay, yeah, so we're going to go ahead and cast Annihilation. And get another +1 magic with the leftover 2. And this one is attack a nearby region for 6 yellow. For each die rolled, you may pay a heart to set it to a value 2. But my ability will still apply, so I can spend the first heart for free. I need to get 9 to straight up kill the guy. Come on. Oh, come on. All right, so I get a free change to this being a 2, which is 3, 6. So I need to change 3 more, so I need to take 3 more damage. Ouch. Oh, no, that's right, because this will actually give us 2, and then 1 more. So I'm going to take 2 damage to get those. Now, this is a good question I'm not sure about. You can't use shields on paid damage, only on like damage suffered from wounds, which I'm going to assume also applies to Doom. So I'm just going to take 2 damage, not double it, and I think my shields still hang out. But that's a straight up kill of this guy. I've got 1 action left. Although if I use Ghost Walk, I can get a second one. Let's do that. So I'm going to cast this. Cast during anyone's turn. They gain evade and +1 action. Now let me move here. Oh, wait a second. That is a 3-way, and that was not a 3-way. Okay, so once again, I placed the wrong tile. Not mattering too much. Okay, for my last action, I'll do a range attack. No way I can't kill this guy. I might be able to get a +1 token for the boss. I wouldn't mind that. Oh, and I need 1 more yellow, don't I? Wow. Whoops. Okay. Yes, either way, I will indeed get a +1. I could add more +1s, but I think I'm pretty happy. Oh, don't add more dice. It's fine. So that guy is defeated 2. Oh, that's right. I defeated 2 people, so I heal people. Which actually I realized would have gotten rid of my curse anyway, so there we go. Oh, and Thaddy's at full health, so I guess I'll just give both healing to William. All right, we're going to the last level up step, because you don't have those anymore, at least not in the normal way once the boss is out. And they aren't going to do like their spell casting and stuff much either. All right, so it says resolve this level up step as normal, and then if there are any heroes in the villain loot stash, respawn them, and the villain gains +5 hearts and +2 stars for each. And then the villain spends this star, and then we go right into the final battle. So the villain's not going to level up again, which is awesome. He's not getting any stronger. We get 1 final chance to get stronger. Let's see, how strong can we get? That's 1, 3, 6 from the enemies, +2 more. That's 8. So that's the maximum number of stars we could have gotten, 6 stars. That means I don't have to get rid of this rusty sandwich. I can actually keep it to gain 2 shields at any time. That seems good. Let's see, I'm actually going to give the nautical helm to William, so he has evade. That should be good. So Thaddy can have the sandwich for now. And he's also gaining another shield from his shield, so he's at max shields. Nice. We each get 6 level ups. I don't think Thaddy needs more of those. So, I mean, geez, well, let's go 1, 2, 3, 4. Finally make my melee a little bit more respectable. And then, yeah, I actually want my melee all the way up to 5, 6. Because as you'll see in a moment, the boss, it's good if you can attack them in multiple ways because they have like different defenses that are better and worse each round. So having a really solid melee option should be good for us. Whereas for William, we'll do something similar. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, wow. So actually maybe he'll go, yeah, he's going to go to another action so he can get more spells or move around more. Maybe, yeah, I don't think going for melee at this point makes much sense. All right, William draws 2 red cards. Age 10,000 years. Choose anyone with up to 5, 7, or 10 life. Defeat them. That's not great against the boss, but at least I can kill like one of the minions he'll probably summon. Then Mortal Coil, attack a nearby region for 3, 5, or 7 damage. You can pay up to 5 hearts to add +1 damage per heart paid. Okay, that's also nice. So all of these are pretty solid options to hit the boss for like 10 damage consistently, which is what you really want. And I love that the boss is never getting to spend this extra star. Get out of here. All right, so the boss's turn flips to the final battle now. He's going to attack with action cards. You'll see those in a second. Any minions that are out will attack, and he does like to summon them. And then he's going to level up, but all that means is he starts gaining more actions every round. And then he will see if he's killed any heroes. For each one he killed, he gets a soul token. If he gets 3, then he wins, although you still go forward. This is a fail-forward game. If we can take away all 70 of his health, then we win. So it's important to note that unless an action card says it, he will no longer roll his magic. He'll no longer roll his leadership. He's just going to be doing like regular attacks. So here's an action card. First thing you'll notice is up here is what he's strong against this round. So if we attacked him with magic, we would have a lower chance of actually doing stuff, or he might like hit us back. And this is what he's weak against. So we'd have a better chance of getting a crit and doing some extra effect if we hit him with ranged. But it's always his topmost card. So he's about to resolve 2 action cards. You flip them going left, and then you resolve them in the opposite order. So the bottom is the defense effect. Here it says if we'd attacked with magic or melee, then the hero would have become doomed, whereas range would have done nothing. And this one looks kind of similar, so neither of these has a crit effect. But it says if there are less than 2 minions out, spawn an elite minion, or a chump if it's a single player. So maybe I shouldn't kill everybody. Villain moves 6 towards the closest enemy, and then villain rolls their melee, adding +1 to the result for each minion in their view. That's first we're spawning another big doggy, darn. Williams definitely hurt more, so he's going to spawn the guy right there. And the boss moves to Thaddy, the closest enemy from where he was. Oh, and he can't see the dog, so he doesn't get a +1 to his attack. That's nice. So he's rolling a red, 4 yellows, and a white, and he's got a +1, which he'll definitely use. Now, Thaddy's got a ton of shields, so hopefully this roll isn't too good. Oh, that was pretty good. 6, 7, 8. So just 2 damage is going to get through, because 3 shields stops 6 of it. Oh, sorry, 1 more. I forgot he'll spend the +1. There we go. Okay, then his second card is Human Clubbing. Villain moves 6 toward the closest enemy, so he'll stay where he is. He draws an elite minion. Villain deals area of effect damage in their region equal to that minion's heart value, then discards that minion and adds 1 treasure card to the hero loot stash. Okay. I hope they don't have a ton of life. Who is it? Okay, so it's an 8 value golem. We do use the higher value here. So we just club me for 3 damage. Good lord. But hey, we get a free loot. It won't help us level up, but we can still equip it, and it'll still give us bounty for our horde. So, ouch, that hurt. And then the doggy is going to come down and attack William for 2 red and a yellow. Yay! Ooh, that was good. Only 3. Now, you are forced to use all your shields. So even though 2 shields would block 4, I have to use all of it, and that should not be doomed anymore. So then he levels up, which just means he's going to have, again, 2 actions next turn, then 3 the turn after that, and then 3 after that. And then every time he levels up, he's going to hurt us each for 5. And he's currently weak to melee, which means it seems to make sense for Thaddy to be the first one to go with his melee attack. Oh, wait, no, I have that wrong. He's strong against melee. He's weak against magic. So let's have William go first. All right, so William will roll all of his stuff. Too many dice over here. Let's see. That's 4, 6, 7, 8 plus 2 +1 tokens if I want to use them. Let's see. So I think I'll use Fragile Mortality, attack a nearby region for 2, 5, or 8 damage. Each hero may choose to pay 2 hearts to add +2 damage. Let's do that, and I'll spend the heart since I spend 1 less. So that's 6 of my 8 successes. And I can't forget my helmet, but again, I don't think the Doomed multiplies paying 1 damage. I mean, if it did, it wouldn't be that bad because I'd at least get rid of it. So I'm doing 10 damage. We flip this over. And sadly for us, no crit. Now, it would have been worse if we had had a melee attack, obviously, but that doesn't mean he's down to 60. Grab it. And then I'm going to spend both my +1 tokens to get 4 successes total. I'm going to cast Revitalizing Rain. I roll a yellow for every wounded minion and hero, which luckily there are no wounded minions. And on a 1, I heal them 4. On a 2, I heal them 7. All right, so Sir Thaddy croaks. Oh, got a 2. Yes, that means he's back up to 10. He might actually survive next turn. And don't forget, I could use Twist of Fate on this, so I could make it a 2 if I wanted. But I guess it's okay if he just gains 4. It's hard to grab this under the shields. 1, 2, 3, 4. And he's not doomed anymore. That's probably the best part. Or not the best part. 4 healing is the best part. That was his magic action. He's got 3 actions left, and he can do a ranged attack. So maybe I want to move off of this guy and then do the range attack. Yeah, because the boss is currently strong against range and weak against melee, so I want to wait and have Thaddy do that. So yeah, I think I'm going to move up here, and then I can spend a +1 to heal myself after I shoot this guy. All right, so here's my range pool. Pretty powerful, and I've got a lot of +1s. I need to get 9 to kill the guy. Wait, did I roll too many reds? No, I do have 5. Oh, no, that's 6. Ah, crud, okay. So let's get rid of that lovely roll and try again with the actual correct number of dice. Oh my gosh, that's way better. What is that? 8, 10, 11. So I actually have enough to get another +1. Wow. Doggy is definitely dead. Let's see, that was spell, move, shoot. He could move because of the helmet, the game of evade. So I've got 1 action left. So I guess I'll go ahead and draw some. Let's draw maybe these feats, which I don't usually have, because I already have some good attack options for spells. So I'll draw 1 of each. Yeah, a lot of them give shields and stuff. Play anytime on any hero, they gain 1 shield, and then I can draw a replacement melee feat. That's great. Play during anyone's turn. For this turn, they gain +1 action, evade, and can loot treasures even if defended. That's not useful, but +1 action could be. So yeah, I might just throw those away, but it's nice to have them. All right, now it's Thaddy's turn. Like I said, the boss is weak to melee, so let's go for that first, which is 4 reds, a yellow, and 3 whites. Man, it'd be awesome if I can get to a 10. Come on. Ooh, okay. 8. Where's my Twist of Fate? I think Thaddy has it. Oh, no, here it is. So that costs nothing. I can change any die to what I want, so let's just make that, boop, a +2. That way I don't have to spend my +1 tokens yet. Oh, by the way, I shouldn't forget about that elephant form I've been holding this whole time. Those would have been 3s, and that would have been 12, 15 if I'd used that. Can I use it now, or do I have to spend it beforehand? What's it say? Ooh, cast any time on any ally. Until this round ends, any dice they have rolled, which show a 2 count as 3. Here we go. So he has to spend another card or a +1 token. So wowie, that's 15 damage, and that's still going to apply for the rest of the turn, so to my range attack. Whoops, I think I grabbed the wrong card there. Come on, give me a crit. No crit again, but I did do 15 damage. Brings him down to 45. That was awesome. Okay, and he's got 3 actions left. So let's spread out so the boss can't hit both of us. I'll go here and then do a range attack. Or actually, you know what? I can still explore and try to get that bounty token. And it might give Thaddy a free shield from his rocket boot. So let's go 1. Scout. No, that won't fit. That would fit. And it is an exclamation point. Awesome. So there's no events left to draw. You don't do that, but he will get a shield from his power. But his movement ends, so he can't get the +1. That's okay. He's going to shoot for his 3rd action. Or actually, before he does, why don't I go ahead and draw a melee and range feat? Those could help me. Let's see what you get. Pickpocket, reveal a loot for each nearby enemy. Equip or stash one of them and discard the others. That's kind of cool. And Reforge. Play anytime in the hero round and discard a treasure, then reveal 5 treasures, equip or stash one of them. Oh man, both those would help me get better stuff. I'd love to get like a weapon. Let's do Reforge. Okay, so I'm going to discard the rusty sandwich and draw... No, I'm going to discard the boots. I don't think they'll be useful. Oh my gosh, the boots give me an extra action. I have 5 actions? I don't need 5 actions. So yeah, I'm going to get rid of that and draw 5. What I'm looking for is a weapon. A helmet, okay, a shield, a battle pick, that'll boost my melee attacks, a book of life hacks, and more armor. Oh, and look at battle pick. If your melee attack rolls no misses, add +2 hits, although that's not that good because I have all those white dice. You chunky helmets, you start each turn, you may gain 1 shield, you have no shield limit. But I just want to kill the boss, so let me go ahead and get the battle pick. And I still got a final action to shoot the boss. Come on, big numbers. So that's only 1, 2, which becomes a 3. So that's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I can spend this to make it 10. Now, he's neither weak nor strong. Sometimes this will still have a defensive ability. Hopefully not. Nope, there's nothing there. So wow, we've taken away half of his life. I'm feeling great about that. And then during the level up phase, he gets another shield. All these shields are making us way more survivable. And we get to look at this loot. Reactive armor. Each time you take 3 or more damage from one source, gain 1 shield. Let's take the token for it. So that's 1, 2, 3. And again, all that matters is for our horde. We're getting very close to the 23 mark where we would get 3 supplies at the end of the mission. Oh, and I think I forgot to have William draw spells, and we have to discard down to 6. Let's see, we got another Fragile Mortality, which is a great one. That gives us a pretty much a guaranteed 10 damage. And we got Ghostwalk again for +1 action. I gotta discard 1. Mortal Coil is also pretty much a guaranteed 10 damage. Age 10,000 years is really only good for getting rid of the minions, so yeah, I think I'll get rid of that one. Well, actually, no. I think I'll get rid of Skedaddle. I don't really need the ability to loot treasures, even if an enemy is there. That shouldn't come up at this point. All right, now we get to the Keeper. He's still got 2 actions. He'll have 3 next time if he's still alive. Let's see what fun he's up to. Dreadful Howl. If there are less than 2 minions out, I got to spawn an elite. That sounds familiar. Then he's going to move 6 towards the closest enemy. And then we choose either the villain deals 8 area of effect damage in its tile or all heroes become doomed. We'll have to look at the options. So the enemy is a gnome bomb lobber. Actually, not that much health, but pretty powerful range attack and can put down bombs. So interestingly, Thaddy has 10 life left and William has 11, so they would be targeting Thaddy. But there are no spawn gates anywhere except for all the way back at base camp. So I guess William's going to be the one taking the hit anyway. And now we have to make this choice. 8 area of effect damage or all become doomed. Let's see. Clearly is going to be on Thaddy's space. So 8 damage. What's the next card do? Switcheroo. Villain exchanges places with the hero farthest from them. Oh, so we'd both be on the same space. And then place 3 bombs in that hero's new tile. Oh my gosh. Oh, and then villain rolls leadership, and each hero may choose to pay 3 hearts to reduce the roll by 2. So it sounds like the most likely thing if we both became doomed is that we'd both be potentially hit by 3 bombs, which is 6 damage. So that would be pretty rough if that was doubled for both of us. Although Thaddy's got 2 shields, so he'd take only 2 damage, then double it. I think William's the same. Yeah, 2 shields there. So we are going to both become doomed. So that resolves this first Dreadful Howl. And then again, he's going to switch places with us and then put 3 bombs in our tile, and he's going to roll leadership. So blip and blip. He's kind of farther away from us. Good thing we have a lot of movement. And before I waste the time putting down 3 bombs, let's see if they explode. Oh, they don't. Okay, I guess that's good. Oh, wait, maybe not, because this guy puts down bombs too. I forgot. Yes, we've got 3 bombs there. And then again, he's rolling his leadership, and we can each choose to pay 3 to reduce the roll by 2. And that is a weird way of wording it. Does that mean all of us have to each pay 3 to reduce it by 2 total? Or for each of us that pays 3, reduce it by 2? Either way, I don't think I'm going to do it, so I'm not going to worry too much. All right, here we go. Don't roll anything too amazing. Oof. That is 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, no, and he's got... Oh, he doesn't have a 7th, which would, I think, let him place a level 3 enemy. So he's going to spend 5 to place a level 2 and then get a +1. And it is a nasty golem. He's going to be right here with the Keeper. And by the way, something I didn't mention is that the Keeper counts as like the bottom of any enemy stack. So if there were any enemies on the same space as him, they would have to be killed before he could be hurt. But luckily, they're both going to charge towards us, and we have evasion, so this is not too nasty of a situation. Now they activate, so the Golem's going to come in with 2 actions and do a melee attack. So 1, 2, 3. That's going to be 4 yellow, and I can pick who takes it, but whoever takes it is going to take the entire turn attack. So since William has 1 more life, I'll have him get attacked. So 4 yellows. Let's hope it's not too bad. Oh, okay. Exactly 4. And the negative of that is that he now has no shields. And if the other guy shoots him, it's going to all be doubled. Wow, this could be a kill right away. Though I've got a plan for that, I think. So this guy's going to move and then do a range attack. So 1, 2. Interestingly, this guy does not have evade. So if we could have like 1 hero on him and then nobody adjacent, he wouldn't be able to move away or attack at all. So he's doing a 2 red, 1 yellow attack. And because William was already chosen for the defender, he continues to be the only one who can take this attack 3. So that'd be doubled to 6. So I was thinking I would use Thaddy's like tricky dodge or whatever it was called to move the attack to the golem, but this was a pretty weak roll. So actually, I'm going to have William use his Folded Steel. He can play at any time on any hero. They'll gain a shield, so that'll cancel 2 of the 3 damage. We'll still take 1, which will get doubled, but that'll be only 2 damage, and the Doom will go away. And then William will draw an extra feat card, but we need to get rid of a +1 or any card. And the +1 would have to be melee, so let's get rid of... Life Cycle doesn't really do that much damage. Let's get rid of that one. Although, actually, that one heals heroes, doesn't it? I'm going to get rid of the Ghost Walk potion instead, I guess. So that card lets William draw a replacement melee feat, which is defensive fighting. Play anytime on any hero. They may convert shields into +1 melee tokens and vice versa. And you draw 1 feat card. Well, that'll be really useful for Thaddy when he attacks with melee, so we'll save that. And for now, after the 1 shield, we take 1 damage, doubled Williams at 9. I think we're going to survive, man. This is great. Although maybe not, because now a bomb's being placed, and oh my god, that's a lot of damage. Don't kill us, don't kill us. Oh no! So wow, that combines into 1 8 damage attack. But I just looked, and guys who have the bomb ability are not immune from their own bombs, so the Goblin Bomb Lobber actually killed himself. And that's also flipping the Stone Cutter to his injured side. And Thaddy subtracts 4 for his shields. Oh my gosh, wait, he was doomed? Is that right? Well, I'll assume it's right, which means he's down to 2 life. Ouch. And then, wow, William is down to 1. We might win with the villain never having defeated any of us, which is pretty crazy. I don't think I've ever done that well, although clearly next round we will both be killed. So wow, wow, wow. Let's see what we can do now. All right, the Keeper is currently weak to ranged attacks. So I'm thinking maybe I have William go first, and I want to use my healing spell to heal both of us, and then he can move in and do a range attack. And I can't forget he is doomed. He gets 2 shields. And then he's going to go ahead. Here we go. Magic spell for his first of 4 actions. That was a pretty good roll. That is 6, 8. So let's see. Life cycle. If I do 6, it'll heal both of us 6 health. Or I could do 4 and use the other 4 to use fragile mortality and kill the golem. Yeah, sure. Let's do that. So I'm going to cast life cycle. I will not pay the 1 health because of my dojo ability, and I'll cast fragile mortality. So I'll attack the golem for 5, more than enough to kill it, and I'll heal each of us for 4, although that might not be enough to actually matter. And that means that he's not doomed anymore, which is cool. So he's up to 5. That he's up to big old 6, and then we're going to get shields again. And the golem's gone. All right, so then 3 more actions. Let's go 1, 2, go here. We'll do a range attack, but first maybe draw some cards. Since we're doing a range attack, let's draw 2. This is my 3rd action. Mark target. Play after any ranged roll. Each hero may spend up to 1 of their +1s to add +2 hits per +1 spent. That is great. And Slippery Acrobatics. Play as anyone would take damage. They roll a red die and prevent that much damage, and then draw a feat card. I like both of these. So I should have a pretty decent chance of getting maybe 15 damage with this attack. This is 5 reds, a yellow from my wand. Come on, come on. 4, 6, 8. Now let's see, I've got 3 +1, so if I use the marked target, I could use 2 of them for normal and then 1 for the +2. That would get us to 12, and then Thaddy could get us to 14. Not quite enough. So with that in mind, I'll just spend 2 normally, and then I can play marked target on Thaddy if he does a range attack, and then boost him for 2 with William's remaining 1. That gets us to 10 damage. Let's see if we can get a crit. No, although we did avoid a negative effect. That brings the boss down to 25. We're probably going to have to survive 1 entire more turn. Oh no, and now he's weak to magic and strong against melee. Against Thaddy can do a range attack and then charge in for melee, and hopefully he won't be strong again. So sure, first action, Thaddy will go 1, 2, 3. Wait, was it ranged? Yeah, I want to stop here first to get a range attack off. So second action out of 4, he's going to do a ranged attack. Okay, that's 6, 7, 8, 9. So once again, the bonus doesn't really make sense. He'll just spend his regular +1 to get to 10. And let's flip. Oh no, sometimes they defend well against something else too. This says villain gains 2 shields and moves 3 toward safety. So that means that we will only hit him for 5 damage. Then he moves 3, I guess, towards safety probably means away. Oh, it says closest tile with no nearby enemies or bombs. So that would just be here. That's easy enough. So Thaddy can easily get in there and attack him with melee for his last 2 actions, but there's no way we're going to finish him off. But the good thing is he can kill both of us, and we still won't lose, because he'll only have 2 out of 3 kills. So yep, let's charge in, and I could get rid of a +1 token to heal to. Oh, and then I could throw away the Rusty Sandwich and get 2 more shields. That seems like it probably makes sense. Although that's my only +1, but I bet I'll hit him for 10. So yeah, we're going to heal 2. We'll be getting a ton of shields in a second. And we're getting an extra yellow from our battle pick. And don't forget, if we roll no misses, we'll get +2 to our results. But with all these whites and yellows, that's pretty much impossible. But hey, we can always hope. Nope. That looks pretty good, though. That's 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. Now, once again, he's neither weak nor strong. So let's see. Nice. There would have been a crit. Just to look at what it says, the attacker chooses one of the villain's dice level up tokens and destroys it. So he could like permanently get rid of the red, and he would have no dice there. So he'd be down to 4 yellow and 1 white for melee. But as it is, no such luck. He's down to 10 life, so close. And we go into the level up phase. Thaddy is going to get a shield, and he's going to get rid of his Rusty Sandwich to get 2 more. See if we can potentially survive. And by the way, it only counts for bounties, but we got 4 more from killing enemies. So we're at 26. Wow, we're almost to the 29. With this guy summoning so many minions, you tend to get a lot more loot than normal. Oh, and by the way, I forgot to increase his actions to 3. Yeah, the chances of us surviving seem really low, but let's see what happens. Or sorry, I should say let's see what happens after we draw 2 reds and discard for William. Ooh, Twist of Fate, definitely a good one to keep us alive. Skeleton Hoedown. You can attack an entire region, deal area of effect damage, and heal from anyone who gets killed there. That's right, I've got Slippery Acrobatics to dodge. I've got defensive fighting to potentially get shields. All right, so I'm going to get rid of age 10,000 years. It can only hit minions, and I don't think I'll care in the final round of the game. All right, here we go. We have 3 actions. Oh, wait, sorry. That one should have been in the first spot. We go in reverse order. There we go. Don't hurt us too hard. Okay, villain moves 6 towards the closest enemy. Villain rolls magic using all hits and casts this repeatedly. Each hero in view of 1 or more enemies suffers 3 damage. Yikes. That is going to hurt us a lot. Okay, so we move 6 to the closest. He's already where he is, but we're both in view. So we want to have him not get too much magic here. Come on. Ooh, okay, that's 3, 5. And he's got a +1, so he'll make it 6, which would mean it would hit us twice. But yeah, okay, let's use Twist of Fate. Change that 2 to a 0, and now he's only hitting us. What is that actually? Oh, wait, hold on. I totally counted wrong here. It was actually 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So I will not use Twist of Fate because I can't reduce it. So he's going to have 2 +1 tokens, which shouldn't matter, but then he is hitting each of us for 6 damage. So William's losing both his shields and going down to 3. And so Thaddy Croak, let's see. It said lose 3 and then lose 3 again. I don't know. Maybe I shouldn't total it up. Maybe they should take 3, losing 2 shields, and then take 3 again. But I'm just going to be nice and say we got 8. Well, no, I'm pretty sure I'm wrong about that. So he would actually have 7 then. And William would have taken 3 from the second attack if those were each separate attacks. All right, ouch. Villain moves 6 towards the closest enemy, so he stays with Thaddy. Every unwounded minion is wounded, which is nobody, so that's good. Villain gains +5 health and a +1 melee token for each affected minion, and then rolls melee. So this is nice. Since there are no minions on the board, he's just going to hit us, but he would have healed otherwise. That would have been terrible. All right, so Thaddy's getting attacked. It's a lot, but we do have some defensive options, so let's see what we need. Oof, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Which would exactly kill Thaddy. So I think this is a perfect time for William to play Slippery Acrobatics, plays anyone who take damage, they roll a red, prevent that much, and then I draw a replacement feat. So anything's going to save him, but 2's better, so he's got 2 life left. And William gets Spoils of the Hunt, plays any nearby enemy is defeated, any hero nearby that enemy may heal for 3. That's not going to matter much. All right, and last one, we're still not dead. Oh no, switcheroo again? Villain exchanges places with the hero farthest from them, places 3 bombs, yeah. Oh, and then he's going to try to summon some people. This all seems bad, because Thaddy's on the same space. Yeah, we probably are going to lay down and die there. But I still have Twist of Fate, so I can cancel the bombs if they explode, and they did. Yeah, but that would kill both of us, so I'm definitely going to use Twist of Fate and change that to a 0, so no bombs for him. Well, sorry, that might be confusing. There are absolutely bombs, but they have not exploded yet. They're just sitting on top of Thaddy's head. All right, now he's going to summon. Oh, man, please don't summon anything too crazy. Oh, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. He needs 1 more for an 8, but he's got a +1. No! And oh my gosh, it's like the worst thing he could have gotten. Teslo Cassifrax, the youthful mastermind. Look, his attacks are area of effect, so he'll hit both of us, and I think that means both of us will die. Although lucky for us, the closest portal is right on our space, which means Teslo can only attack us with his 3 yellow melee, which is also area of effect, instead of his much more powerful range attack. I just can't fit everything in here. So pretty sure we're still going to die, but let's see what happens. That'd be 4 to each of us. Thaddy's got 2. And William's also got 2. Now, I do have Sneaky Dodge, but I just realized Thaddy doesn't have enough to play it, and he can only redirect it to another one of the heroes because we can't choose the attacker. So whatever, we'll just both die. So there you go, Keeper. You got to feel good about that. You got 2 out of 3 Soul Stones. You're going up to 3 actions for next turn. But if we can't deal 10 damage, come on. All right, so we're getting to the final hero round. Magic is his weakness. We've each got full life. Let's do this. So we're going to have William go first, and he's already next to him, so we'll just roll magic. All right, here we go. We shouldn't need too much. Oh, we didn't roll too much. 3, 4, 5, 6. No pluses. So that's 1 more than we need for Mortal Coil. I can attack a nearby region for 7. I can pay up to 5 hearts to add +1 damage per heart. So I'll just have William play 3, or pay 3. And that gets us to the 10 we need. So unless this has some kind of weird, like, fake you out. Man, still no crits. We didn't get a single crit, but that will finish off the Keeper. And we would only get 3 supplies to level up, but let's look at the conclusion. So now we're going to get into the conclusion. I will say there are some pretty cool spoilers coming, including the reward at the end of Act 4, which is pretty awesome. So if you don't want to see that, then just use the timestamp to skip to my impressions, and I'll talk about how I feel about the game. But if you don't mind, hang on. All right, so the conclusion. First, it says discover the following full-size cards. These are quests, which is a really cool thing. It gives you replayable quests. So the campaign is like semi-replayable, and you could do this mission again. I certainly enjoy doing them more than once. But the quests are intended as fully replayable options. So here we've got a flexible lesson plan and Bull in a China Shop. 2 new quests. Tons of content here. We also discover the spell Terrible Advance. And then it says, if the heroes won and wagered the Sun Shards, which we did, we're going to get the Tree of Yod and Attack the Darkness. I attack the darkness. And then we'll read the Together option on the card. Okay, so 221, 268, 291. Let's see, Tree of Yod. It's a yellow for spellcasting. When you cast a spell on an ally, they also gain +1. Not bad. Attack the Darkness. Play as an enemy is spawned or moves nearby to you. They take 3 damage plus 1 more for each red die in your range. Wow, that's great. You can do 8 damage late game automatically. I love it. Then finally, this is for a boss from one of those quests. Terrible Advance. The nightmare moves. This is like their spell they would cast automatically each time. It then deals 10 damage to each hero in its regions. This sounds fun. It sounds like he's like chasing you and you need to stay away from him. I'm interested to see how that quest works. Now we go back to the book, which says, together, the keeper drops to her knees, her breathing labored, her body shaking. She lifted her head only to look directly into the sun shield, held by several members of the Order, which suddenly filled the labyrinth with a terrifying and beautiful light. And again, they mentioned a curse. I'm assuming that the flavor text we didn't read at the start of the mission would have explained that. In the humming whiteout that followed, a scream could be heard, and when the light faded, the keeper was motionless on the ground, dead. And then, from within the body, the shimmering, translucent form of the brave warrior stood, her face as warm as the light from the sun shield. She looked over the curious faces of the Order Without Borders and bowed her head, thanks. The curse was broken. She turned to the door and tried to speak, but no sounds would come from her spectral mouth. She looked fearful again and turned to the Order. The Order felt they should say something to the door on behalf of the ghost to the door, but what to say? Say, I love you? Or say, I'm sorry? Maybe she loves the door? I love lamp. Sure, so let's go for that. All right, I love you. We're reading C. Dreadgar watched the warrior's lips and read the words behind her eyes. He had seen this play out too many times, but not this time. He squeezed the warrior's hand with his bony claw and nodded. Dreadgar is the necromancer we're not using. Walking over to the door, he leaned in close and whispered something the rest of the Order couldn't hear. Light filled the room, and the door was a door no longer, but a woman in a cerulean gown. The spirits rushed to embrace and taking each other's hands and smiling, flip to D. Spirits faded away together. Right on time, a voice from the darkness beyond the door spoke. It isn't going to like that. It hates happy endings. Okay, we unlock the key envelope and find within a Nightmare Eater standee and a new hero, Lennox the Monk. And we discover Lennox's starting spell, Shapeless Form. Let's look at this guy. So this was the bigger spoiler, so sorry if you saw this and didn't take the earlier warnings. Lennox is a monk, and as such, he cannot equip weapons. You'll see he has no red inventory spaces. But his coolest, most unique thing is his muscular masterpiece. It says his dice cost 2 stars to level, but he levels all 3 at once, basically like a boss. And he can also move his +1s from any row to any other row at any time. So he's basically good at everything and levels faster than any other character. And he's also flexible for his spells. He gets a free green or red spell every turn. And if he trains in the dojo, his +1s are +2 instead of +1. So yeah, he is pretty awesome. But we'll stop there since you've seen a lot of the cool things you unlock, and let's talk about what I think about Valor and Villainy. So I'll be 100% honest with you all, this is one of my favorite games of the year easily. That's why I wanted to do a video even with only Tabletop Simulator when they couldn't send a prototype, because I just love it so much and I didn't want to kind of let that go by. I've only had access to the first 4 acts. I haven't played any of the side quests, and I have still played this game like 15 or 20 times. That's solo, 2-player, 3-player, 4-player. I've loved every single play, even when it's been random, even when things have not gone my way. I just really enjoy the core gameplay. So first of all, let's look at the core gameplay loop. You're always exploring in the same basic configuration. You have the sun shards and the coins in the same spaces. You're fighting some of the same enemies, although you're unlocking new ones. So does it get stale? And at least for me, the answer is no. I find this type of exploration consistently fun. It reminds me a lot of one of my favorite competitive kind of dungeon crawling games, which is Claustrophobia. That's another one where I never get bored playing the same mission over because the way the kind of dungeon builds out is always exciting. But yeah, even though I'm going to be very positive here, that is probably my biggest caution. Some players might find the core gameplay loop repetitive. I don't, and people I've played it with have not, but I totally see that being a possibility for some groups. Similarly, something I really like is the leveling up. I find it's really fun to get more and more dice, to get different mixes of items, to sometimes get this dojo ability. But it is, once again, a fairly repetitive process. You're usually going to build out like 2 of your stats, although I have had some success building out a 3rd one to like do consistent but weaker hits on the boss. And it's always kind of a choice of when you increase your actions. So I think this is consistently fun, but it's not going to change a ton each time you play. So again, it might not work for some groups. Now, a nice thing is, since it's one-offs and you don't have to keep the same character, even if you're playing the campaign, you can switch your character as often as you like. So if you get bored with Thaddy and want to be like more of a magic spellcaster, you can easily do that and then switch back when you want. So that's definitely a cool thing that I think keeps the characters fresh, even when you might get bored with the leveling scheme. And that brings me to the campaign. This is kind of the best of both worlds for my taste. I'm not as big into big campaign games where you don't really feel like you've accomplished anything or anything's really ended until you've played like 20 or 30 or more times. In this one, you can play the acts. You always fail forward. You're always unlocking fun things in kind of a legacy way, sort of an open the envelope kind of way, instead of like actually leveling up your characters in a campaign-based way. And the story is super funny. I actually find the humor and the writing very entertaining. I'm not sure if everyone else will have the same taste, but I definitely enjoy it. And from peeking at these side quests, which give you more replayability and seem to have more diverse objectives, I think the gameplay in here, the variety, the staying power is amazing. Like, again, I've played maybe 15 times, and I have not gone into the second half of the campaign or any of the, I think it's like 7 or 8 total side quests they'll have. So yeah, there's a lot here. I also like how the boss turn works. I think the spells are diverse and interesting and consistently challenge and attack you. I think the enemy actions are pretty cool. And the nice thing is, the Keeper you just saw is a minion-focused enemy. He's got his own little leadership deck here. He's got leadership spells in here. But if you fight a melee-focused enemy or a range-focused enemy or a magic-focused enemy, you're going to have completely different stuff in there. So, there aren't necessarily infinite bosses, but you at least have like 4 major subtypes that will each play very differently than the other 3. So that's been great for me to, again, keep that variety up and high. And a few other things, there's a lot of stuff to like here. I really like the items. I think they're fun. I think it gives nice variety as you play. And I really love these feats and potions because they give you consistent cooperative options, and the vast majority of characters get to draw them for free on their turns usually, so you'll tend to be able to help each other and stay involved in each other's turns quite a bit. Now, that being said, when I played 4-player, the downtime was a little bit high, and I would certainly never personally play this with 5 or 6 players. That would just kind of pass my threshold of preferred downtime and game length. But for 3 players, for 2 players, for 1 player, for 4 players, sometimes, I think the game works great. Although I should also note that they're still tinkering with the solo mode, and the balance doesn't feel quite right yet. But as you saw in this playthrough, I think controlling 2 heroes works entirely well. So even if they don't quite perfect that, I don't think it'll be a problem for solo players. I mean, gosh, what else is there? I love the dice. I love that when you roll poorly or don't get quite what you want, you can get bonus tokens for later by spending some of it. I like the enemy variety. I like how simple their AI is. I like the 2 forms of attack and how even if you roll a weaker attack, you can still flip them and get them to their damage side. So yeah, I just absolutely love this one. I'm 100% all in. I already found a retail version of Minions of Mordak, the one versus many version. And with the antagonist arsenal, which is an affordable expansion that came with this current campaign, you can play that one co-op as well. And I think we might actually do a co-op stream when we do our Extra Life campaign in November, so you'll probably see that pretty soon. But yep, like I said, one of my favorite games of the year. It's hard for me to recommend it more, and hopefully watching this video helped you to decide whether you might like it as well. So good gaming, everyone. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you at the next stop.